Now let's look at what's happening on the floor of the NGX. Let's get a deeper dive. And Ambrose Omordion, Chief Research Officer, InvestData Consulting, is joining us to talk to us about this. Ambrose, it's good to have you join us. Ambrose, are you...
Hello.
Ambrose, very good to have you join us. Ambrose, this week has been very bullish at the NGX. We started off at 203,000, slightly above that, and we ended yesterday at 211,000. I thought I'd seen it all, but at intraday today, we see the index moving past way above 217,000 points. What technical indicators are you looking at that are supporting this phenomenal performance? Year to date is already flying past 36,000 as we speak.
I always believe that following the smart money or following the money is the key in equity investment. Yes, fundamental and the sentiment are very, very important. But anywhere in the world, sentiment cannot sustain the market, but fundamental do. But now that we're seeing that liquidity is entering the market, because when we look at the money flow index, it's already high above 70, touching almost 80, 90, saying that liquidity is back to the market. But the good thing is that if you look at high cap stocks in the market, you see that institutional investors are gradually coming back to the market, but they are still doing their what we call digestion of the numbers, especially ahead of a Q1 number. And I believe that also the news that yes, Nigeria have been going to reclassified again into the FT international market index. That is also a plus for our market that yes, going to the future from September, we start seeing more liquidity entering the market. Good news that as we speak now, the companies on the exchange have rewarded shareholders immensely, and that also is a signal that the value I've seen in the market is also being supported by fundamental of this company, as reviewed by what the payout ratio. If you look at the company peg with their dividend yield, most of our companies are still on that value. I think investors that are designing are also taking advantage of that value nature of our market to buy into solid companies that has good fundamental and good earning prospects.
You talk about money flow. Where are these monies going to? What stocks are actually investors throwing this money at right now? Because we want to know where we are. Is it just the big caps or the small caps? Just let us know where this money is flowing to.
I like that question. It's flowing to stock like Dangote, the cement. You see the life of Arade, the life of MTN, Zenith Bank, GT Code, and other high cap stock, and also blue chip companies that are doing well. In our market, investors realize that what are you paying at the end of the day matters. And most of the numbers that came from 2025, we have seen improved reward for shareholders, and that also is a signal that we're waiting for the first result for 2026. That would not tell you where the company is standing. Also, don't forget that despite the insecurity we are seeing in the economy today, can say that our macroeconomy are looking good. That's an attraction. That is why if we also those managing the economy, we need to talk more of how to improve our security to sustain this confidence. Because I tell you, the market alone cannot drive the confidence the economy need or Nigeria need. We need a holistic confidence that will come both from the market and also from the economy and also from Nigerians. These are the things that will make any nation to stand out. I believe that our market is putting us on the right line. Whereas Nigerian market is doing well, we need to also do well in other areas so that a complete confidence will be in the economy. For me, I see that those that are playing equities also should not be carried away with price either new or high. Because I said at the beginning that there's a difference between sentiment and fundamental. The two are good for those that are smart investors. For those that are also not smart investors, pay attention to fundamental. Sentiment can come anytime and go, but fundamental will also sustain you whenever you are in a good stock. That is why at this time you to pay attention to what fundamental stand stocks, like those companies that have good fundamental, good earning prospect, and also that the sectors where they're operating and government policy also in partner sector to speak now. That is where you should pay your attention, not just following all bad dragon. I'm good at to say that market as now is being moved by what highly priced stocks, and at the same time, when you see that index is moving up, it has the way of drawing other indexes or other stock up. That is why as the high cap stocks are hitting new high, or expect that they're going to drive others, especially if the Q1 were expecting beat expectation, we're going to see market sustain this momentum. But for those that are also in profit, don't forget that anywhere in the world, it is easier to buy a stock. But to sell is where you see investors shifting pools because they want to make high money. On the process, they use what they have made. That is why you must have your investment objective, your trading plan from the one, so that when you make profit, you know how to catch that. As market is going up now, people are still saying, let me make 100%, 200%. Before you know it, market will correct. That is why let your investment objective, your trading plan guide you in any market you are trading, especially in Nigeria market at this situation, because we are seeing a new face of the market entirely.
Definitely a new face of the market. It's like NGX is taking a different path entirely. But how much of this performance, this positive performance, you see, are earnings responsible for, or sentiments from, say, investors for, say, future earnings, that they're expecting?
Oh, no, actually, since was having a positive macroeconomic data, yes, what is happening in global, especially the Iran and US war and the Israel, we also have to shape our economy. Already, you can see that inflation is taking the ugly head again from almost 15 point, 0.06 now to almost 13.38. It tells that yes, we need to manage all this because I tell you, inflation anywhere does not support the market, does not support the economy, does not support workers in Nigeria anywhere in the world. That means we have to fight against this inflation. That means the economic managers should come out with policies to be stabilized by also making sure that this insecurity is put back so that farmer can go back to the farm and start saying, even like what you said at your intro, that there are some reform in terms of tariff to kind of attract some things. If you attracted something to Nigeria that will have the capacity of doing those things, you're going to discourage those in that sector or put pressure in their plan and also in their production. We need to look at where do we have our strength, where is it that we need to employ, but where we have strength, there's no need of us giving a tariff waiver or no reduced tariff, because if you are doing such, those in that sector already putting them what in a big challenging situation.
Definitely, we're not out of the woods yet in terms of inflation. We saw the report yesterday, inflation ticking higher, 58.38%, climbing higher than we were expecting. We expected a downtrend, but because of the war in Iran, that might not be possible. What are you seeing for companies that are cyclical, that are dependent on the economy to grow, for them to also grow?
Yeah, actually, for those that are in this market, I will tell you that there's lots of opportunity in the market. Even with the high inflation, food are the sector that bring inflation because we're able to pass the high cost into to the consumers and also post a better number. Because I tell you, whether on the short run or the long run, price feed on earnings. We must see companies that have that capacity to generate more earnings that will support their price. That's why we see position from in place. A companies that kind of build its capacity to earn more. These are places to target because we're entering a new phase in the market. It is earnings that will justify where this price will stay or where they will go. That means every investor in the market should not just follow only just bandwagon or sentiment alone. Look at also fundamental. What are the sectors? What are the business model? What will support the price of this company? Because any price we have seen, all of them have gone up. But with dividend they paid, there's a bit less kind of confident that this company have changed their pattern of rewarding investor who also has supported the price at this level. Yet after seeing the Q1 number, because they clear direction where what they will do in 2026. That is why every investment is against the future, because past performance is never a guarantee of what the company do. It is what will drive the future performance that every design investor or trader should be looking at, not what they have done. Now that in another financial year, we need to see what are those companies that are expanding their capacity and going into new business, into new market that will support their number at the end of the day. Because we have said inflation is already coming up, because I tell you, high cost of operation also eats into your profit. That means it is when you expand your capacity to more that you can support your price when you are paying good dividend or you are posting a stronger numbers that investor can also rely on, that at the end of the day, you can expect good things from that company.
Ambrose, you cannot totally rule out the lemons theory from the market. Lemongitis is what we do. We follow what people do. Oh, where is the market going? And that's where everybody runs towards. They just don't take time to do their own due diligence in the market. But looking at the sentiment report for yesterday, the NGX, we see that it was at 100% for the index. So is it time for investors now to play with caution? Or what should they be doing? Following the herd?
At this level, like I said at the beginning, that sentiment is real and it's also very good. And that is for those that are short-term investors. That's why follow the money. For those that follow the money, we always act quick. But for those that really want to take position that they want to stay, buy into fundamental, sentiment is welcome in any market. Like it helps you to make quick money, but don't be carried away with that trend. That's what I mean. Sentiment is good. Like as you mentioned yesterday, 100%. Even this morning as we speak now, market is almost 100% buy again, which is good. But I tell you, this is a time for many investors to be tested, because shifting of goalposts. Oh, I wanted to sell my stock at 200 naira. Let me take it at 240. Like I shifting the goalpost, that same stock will correct that the day is coming down. Nobody's ready to buy you. See the stock that you have seen at 220 coming down below 220 to almost 80 naira, 180, because you didn't take position at the right time. That's why don't be carried away with that up market. Up market is an opportunity for you to sell into that market and buy into a weak market. I'm not saying that when you use your T line is going to tell you that anytime you see stock or market above the state line, say that the sentiment in the market, the momentum is very, very strong. You sell into that momentum, to that strong market. But when you see below the T line, the market is weak. Now you're not targeting those people that have value, that market have yet to identify those values and buy into that company. So that when it starts going up again, market will come and also meet you there. You also smile out and say to them. That is why you must invest the market with knowledge, like combining your fundamental, technicals, and also sentiment report to make what informed investment decision.
Ambrose Omordion, the market has already hit a new all-time high. I wonder what next the market will hold for investors. But watch out and see how the market ends today and possibly see how the next week begins. Thank you so much, Ambrose Omordion, Chief Research Officer, InvestData Consulting, for your time on Business Incorporated.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.